Hey, my friend, I love the holidays. In fact, I believe that this is the most wonderful time of year. Or is it in 2020? Some will say that in 2020 there seems to be no good time of year. Okay, for some that is a fair statement. 2020 has been a tough year. Well, in today's short message, we're going to answer this question. How do we deal with feelings of sadness and blues during the holidays in 2020? Stick around to hear the answer. Now, the first way we deal with feelings of holiday blues or sadness is to admit we have these feelings. Yes, I said that we must admit our troubled emotions. There is an experience called holiday blues. It is an experience caused by the pressure to feel happy during the holiday season or the disappointment that the holiday season will not be the same as it had been in the past. Well, my friend, nothing has been the same in 2020. As a result, there is a chance that many will experience feelings of loneliness and sadness because of our challenges. 2020 has been a tough year for many. These are real feelings, and instead of dealing with them in healthy ways, some will turn to an excessive use of alcohol and other drugs. Why? Because 2020 has been a tough year. It's been a year of loss, my friend. COVID fatigue and frustration is real. In fact, people are getting sick and tired of wearing masks, washing their hands, and staying away from people they love. So the question is, how do we deal with these feelings? I will say it again. We must admit them. We must be honest about them. We must admit the times we are feeling sad, lonely, and anxious. Why? Because admitting them gives us the real opportunity to resolve them. Now, there are two ways we can admit our troubled feelings. Number one, which I believe is the best way to admit our feelings, is by praying to God. Psalms 34 verse 18 says this, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed," which strongly suggests that God cares about those who are hurting. He wants to hear about your pain. And the good news is that He will respond to your pain. In fact, Psalms 147 verse 3 confirms this truth. It says, "He heals the brokenhearted and bandages their wounds," strongly suggesting that God not only wants to hear your concerns, but that He cares about how you feel. Now, the second way we can admit our troubled feelings is to share them with a trusted friend. Proverbs 27 verse 9 says, "The heartfelt counsel of a friend is as sweet as perfume and incense." This verse encourages us to share our challenges with a trusted, caring friend. Therefore, my friend, we see that the Bible encourages us to admit our troubled emotions. We can do this by one, praying to God, and two, by talking to a trusted friend. Now, the second way we deal with holiday blues is to find practical ways to address the causes of our blues. For example, there are a few things that cause holiday blues. For example, finances, family, or the food we eat. Let's cover some of these areas and look at practical ways we can stem them so that our holiday blues is reduced this holiday season. Now, the first cause of holiday blues is what I call fantasy. This is the disappointment we feel when we wish that our current holiday season is the same as holiday seasons in the past. We may have loving memories of holidays in the past, traditions that we've done every year. There may be loved ones that we miss because they've unfortunately died, or a child that did not come home for the holiday season, or the inability to be around family because of our fear of COVID-19 infection. These are stressors. How do we practically cope with things being different this year? Number one, we should reduce our expectations. Nothing has been the same in 2020. As a result, we can expect things to be different this year as well. We can perhaps create new traditions. I know in my family for years we would meet the day before Christmas and have s'mores and hot chocolate and enjoy each other's company. But as my children have become adults and some have moved away, we've created a new tradition, at least for the last 2 years, and that is for us on Christmas morning to get up and go out and give to the homeless. This is now a new tradition. It also helps us not to sit around and feel sorry for ourselves because we have the opportunity to go out and share our blessings with other people instead of harping on the fact that this year is not the same as last year. So that's one practical way to deal with fantasy. The second possible cause of holiday blues is family. Now, this may shock you when I say this, but sometimes the holidays are stressful because we feel forced to be around family members that we may not necessarily want to be around. For example, that honorary uncle that wants to argue about politics, or that family member that always gives their opinion about your life and who you're dating. There may be also fears of transmitting COVID-19. So how do we practically cope with this challenge? One, by remembering that if we feel compelled to be around family members that we do not necessarily want to be around, that it is only for a short period of time, a season, maybe 1 hour or 2, or maybe 1 day. You also have the option of not being around them. Use COVID-19 as an excuse. You literally can decide only to visit family members that you feel emotionally or physically safe to be around. Now, the third cause of holiday blues can be food. Think about this. During the holiday season, some of us may do more binge eating and drinking during this season than we're used to doing. Truth be told, research suggests that an excessive amount of alcohol and sugar increases and intensifies feelings of depression. Binge drinking and eating can make you feel worse. Now, how do we practically deal with this? Research suggests that we should engage in regular exercise and enjoy the outdoors during the holidays. In fact, the hormonal boost from exercising and sunshine can lift our moods. So get out and get some exercise. The fourth cause of holiday blues can be a familiar one, and that is finances. The holidays can tempt us to try to prove our loves to our family members by spending more money. Now, how do we practically cope with this? Perhaps this year we should value relationships more than materials. I often tell the Navy sailors that I serve that they should let their personal presence be their present in the life of their family members. The fact that they will literally be home during the holiday season. Okay, there are 2 more. The fifth cause of holiday blues can be friendships. Don't forget, my friends, that there are people out there who do not have family members to be around, or they're distanced from their family members, or they don't feel safe being around their family members, and as a result, they may be lonely this holiday season. What are some practical ways to deal with loneliness during the holiday season? Remember, technology affords us the opportunity to be around our family members virtually. Also, there are virtual religious services. There are opportunities to go to therapy virtually. There are so many things that you can do to ensure that you are not lonely during the holiday seasons. I would also suggest that if there's opportunities to volunteer for those who are less fortunate, that's also a way to deal with loneliness during the holiday season. Now, the last cause of holiday blues can actually be faith. Now, what do I mean by that? During the holiday season, faith is usually expressed more than in other times of the year. For example, some families for the first time during the year will go to Christmas Mass. Now, this year is different, of course, because of COVID-19. So how can we deal with that? We can go to virtual services. We can go to outdoor services. I know on my particular base, Naval Base Coronado, we're going to have a Christmas Eve Mass outdoors. We're going to have a Protestant Christmas Eve service, and our Catholic service is also going to have a Christmas Mass. So we're doing all we can to provide, but also this year, you can express faith personally. The beauty in having a relationship with God is that He's a personal God. So you can personally pray. You can privately pray. You can privately read the scriptures. You can privately journal to God your stresses and your challenges during this holiday season as well. So faith can be expressed whether we have a building or a community to join. We can still express our faith. You see, Christmas is a time in the Christian faith that we celebrate the birth of Christ, the Messiah. Well, what is the significance in that? It shows us the great effort God went through to connect to us personally. He became a human, one of us, so that He could connect to us both intimately and personally. My friend, during this holiday season, let's really make Jesus the reason for the season. He stands at the door of our hearts and He knocks, asking to come in. Let Him be a significant part of your 2020 holiday season. If you do this, my friend, no matter what you're going through this year, He will give you peace.